All right, welcome to Social Trends. My name is Cynthia. It's a beautiful week, and I'm so excited to know that you are alive, well, healthy, and of course, watching me. Don't forget that you can follow us on all our social media platforms, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel, AtikuLive. How was your weekend? Eventful, right? If it was like mine, then it was beautiful. Filled with so many interesting stories and, of course, a whole lot of things to definitely go around. And, of course, today we are going to be starting the conversation today with the debate that happened on Sunday. I mean, it was a beautiful one. We had the candidates of the different parties. We had Peter Obi or Labour Party. We had Kwankwaso. We had our very own His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And of course, you definitely know that one person will definitely be missing. And this time around, there was no representative, neither was the principal there. And many people were not surprised because, of course, what was it supposed to even come and say? But of course, you recall that sometime last week, Festus Keyamo said something that before Tinubu gets to debate with the Labour Party candidate Peter Obi, he has to present his manifesto. But well, now the manifesto is out, but then we still did not see Tinubu at the town hall meeting. But then there have been a whole lot of interesting reactions, towards the debates yesterday. If you did watch it, you discover that the candidates were all amazing in their different ways. But one thing that stood out is the fact that now some people have come out on social media to give their different reactions, what they thought about the debate. But one thing stood out for me in particular is the fact that His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was very direct, straight to the point, and was always answering his questions, as concise as possible.
Dear candidate, you cannot talk about developing human capital development in the absence of an inclusive society. My question to you, how do you ensure an inclusive society? And how do you fund these developmental projects you talk about? Should you become the next president in 2023, you would be inheriting a huge budget deficit. Begin with the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar.
This one. Yes, we are going to inherit a huge fiscal deficit. One way we can go about reducing that deficit is to remove areas of wastages in government spending. Another area we can also remove these wastages is also to make sure that we continue with the policies we had started. For instance, we started removing subsidies when we were in office. We were to remove subsidies in 4 quarters. We removed in 2 quarters. After we left, the whole thing froze. Nobody had the courage and the leadership to continue with removing subsidies again. This is one aspect where we could raise a lot of funding to meet the gap, in our expenditure. The second one, of course, is to continue with the privatization, which we had started. We will realize quite a lot of money. For instance, take the case of our moribund refineries. They have not been working, and we have been expending a lot of money on them. Why not privatize them and raise so much money to meet up this deficit? These are areas, a number of areas you can implement and make sure that you raise the necessary funding that you require. Of course, I have mentioned areas of wastages, which can be reduced as far as the federal funding is concerned. So these are the 3 areas I believe we could get funding to reduce the deficit.
We're going to take some reactions on social media, concerning the debates, and see what some persons have to say about it. We'll start with this particular statement by Rinu. Rinu says, Atiku Abubakar is articulate. You can't take that away from him. Well, you can't. Even though some persons were trying to, bash her for that, because of course we know Rinu is someone who Well, let me not say. All right, so Unekujo says Atiku Abubakar is not just articulate, he's intelligent too. People choose not to pay attention to him. He has my vote. All right, so this one said, Jeffrey Okoro said, now you know he's ready. Atiku is the man for the job. Peter B is saying he will work seamlessly with local government. In 8 years as a governor, he didn't allow local government elections to be held even once. All right. Ubuagu says, frame this to wait. The truth is the truth. I told my boss that a lot of people have not listened to Atiku because of inherited hate. Many don't even know why they hate him. Read his policy document and listen to him. You will see consistency and preparedness. Vote AA. All right. This one says, they hate Atiku because of his ethnicity. If they remove the veil of prejudice from their eyes, they will see see the exceptional qualities he brings to the table. Okay, so Ridwan actually says something interesting. He said, reason I said he's not afraid to debate. He just wants to be sure that his main challenger is also on the podium, which is unlikely. And then this person had to respond, Engineer Abubakar had to respond by saying, so Peter Obi is not a main challenger. Abi, Olokpamako, everybody. You know, every time this particular conversation comes up, these people are always so aggressive. Is it a bad thing if His Excellency just wants to have Tinubu there? But of course, you know, Tinubu will not come out. All right, so this one says, Buchi says, I genuinely think Atiku should speak more in town hall meetings. The campaign have to align and organize this in 6 geo regions apart from rallies. It's clear he is the right man for the job and the message has to be total. He is very explicit with answers and approach. Just wow. The last one says, PDP sent Okowa to prepare them during the last town hall. Atiku is there to flog them today. All right, so many interesting takes, you know, concerning to the election. Although some persons had a few unpleasant things to say, but that's not our business, because just so the people, you know, could see that whenever His Excellency gets to speak, he gives you the answer straight out and he's very honest about his response. But then again, we still have some persons who are definitely going to want to say a couple of things that are very, very hurtful. For example, we actually had this popular Twitter handle who is always trying to say a lot of funny things. And then sometimes whenever I see, you know, a comment from this particular handle, I'm always very, you know, it's always very funny to me, you know, because this particular person is someone that if only majority of the followers knew where this person actually stood, I'm not sure they'll be taking this person seriously. But then again, it's not in my position to tell you the person or not to tell you. Okay, so we're just going to move on from there because we have other interesting things. But just to also add that over the weekend as well, His Excellency, you know, we had the inauguration of the Council for Persons Living with Disabilities. Like, of course, you know that PDP is the only party that has a candidate, you know, a governorship candidate, you know, Niger State, who is actually, let's say, a person with special needs. I don't want to call it disability now, persons with special needs. And of course, His Excellency inaugurated the council on Saturday, and it was an amazing event. It was wonderful. It was all over social media. The pictures were there. And of course, you can see some of the videos on your screen. And let's get to watch some of the videos.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me congratulate people living with a disability for being inaugurated into our campaign council today. Let me also congratulate you for celebrating the International or World's Day for people living with disability. You have been given a number of names or definitions today. The national chairman said,
you are living with challenges, disability. Some people have also given you other descriptions to your name. The most important thing is that you are a productive part of our population. In other words, you contribute your own quota as far as our development is concerned in various sectors of our economy. We in the PDP have recognized your invaluable contributions to human development, and that's why we give you a special place in our Constitution, and a special place we shall if we get into office with your support. You see, there are different estimates as to your number. Some say 20, some say 19 million. Let's assume 20. If we can get all of you to vote for us, we don't need the rest of the other votes. Because if you look at the results of Nigerian elections since the return of democracy, no candidate has ever gotten, that much votes to emerge as a president. So really you are a very, very, very important part of our electoral process. Let me also draw your attention to the fact that even though Persons with a Disability Act was passed by our National Assembly, the APC government has refused to implement it. You have absolutely no reason to vote for APC. This is the party that recognizes your rights as human beings and is prepared to respect your rights. Therefore, I'd like to appeal to you to make sure that you go out and you identify your membership and call them personally to make sure that they vote. And not only they vote, but they vote for the party that cares for you, and that is the PDP. So once again, I want to congratulate you on this inauguration and also on this International Day. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
All right, so it was an amazing event. We had Leli Moke, we had Senator Dino Melaye, we had the chairman of the party, we had other representative of the council, the new inaugurated council, and of course other persons living with disability. In fact, some persons had to, some persons came from far, I mean, there was a man who even came from Delta State just because of the inauguration. People came from different parts of Nigeria just to, experience that very, very great distance. And of course, we do know that some of the policies that His Excellency has said, concerning the community of the disabled persons, I'm very, very sure that when he's voted in, he will be able to implement some of these policies. All right, so let's us now move on to something interesting, which is Festus Keyamo trying to defend the visa of Tinubu. Sometimes I just feel that it's quite tasking, getting to defend a person like Jagaban. Right now, I don't even think he should be called Jagaban again, because all his lines are just falling off in different places. And it's almost like they're out of stories to tell. And so over the weekend, the visa page of Tinubu came out, and obviously it looks very, very forged. Now, some persons have said, okay, yes, some persons have said, okay, it looks like an original visa, like you're seeing on your screen, but there's still something odd about it. The dates, and of course, if it was used. And this conversation started from the fact that there was a Photoshop picture, of Tinubu with President Joe Biden. And it was so funny because anybody who sees that picture can easily tell that this is not a real picture. How that picture was circulating around is something I cannot even comprehend. And to even think that some persons, were even saying is a real picture just beats my imagination, because you could see, obviously, because I think somewhere in that very picture, there's an image of Woye. Was Woye, yeah. Okay, he's popular on Twitter, so Woye. So anybody can see that this is not a real picture. So, well, the conversation started off, and we're like, oh, Tinubu, you said Tinubu cannot go to the US, but see him here, this and that and that and that. And then that was when the visa page came out. But then there's also something about the visa page. As you can see, the one on your screen right now, Reno Mercury, had to break it down because the age is actually different. And Reno says, "Dear Bola Tinubu, I have a question for you. Your US visa says you were born on March 29th, 1952. However, certified true copies of your transcript from Chicago State University show your birth date as March 29, 1954. My question to you, Bola Tinubu, is this: were you born twice? Is this what you think being born again means?" Okay. Well, this is certainly not being born again. All right, so we have some more interesting stories for you. Just go on a very short break. When we come back, I'll share some of the other stories that trended within, during the weekend, and of course, others.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Flight 2023 AtikuLive 2023. I have my co-pilot here with me, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, keeping track on all navigation systems. Our destination is a united Nigeria. Right now, we're cruising at 2022 feet above sea level. Before we arrive at our destination, let me give you a brief update on what to expect at our destination. Number 1, the temperature is going to be hot on security issues. 2, the people are going to be better educated, and the educational system and healthcare will be accessible to every citizen. 3, the economy is going to be thriving and booming. And of course, there'll be true federalism. This and many more to be expected for a united and prosperous Nigeria. So sit back and relax, and before you know it, if we all join hands together, we shall arrive at the new united Nigeria we all dream of soon enough. My name is Atiku Abubakar. As one, we can get it done.
All right, welcome back. It's still Social Trends right here on AtikuLive. My name is Cynthia, and of course, just if you've joined us, just know that we've talked about some of the interesting things that trended over the weekend. All right, so moving on. Of course, the much anticipated, well, not for me, but for a lot of persons, have been anticipating the manifesto of the Labour Party. If you recall that some time ago, there was a particular one that came out and they said, oh, that was not the real one, blah, 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 blah. So now apparently the real one is out. And it doesn't seem to be so exciting, just like what others would think. It was more like you took from here, you waited for everybody to release their own, and then you decided to say, okay, let me see what I can do. Now there have been mixed reactions. Of course, those who are a fan of Obi would definitely say, oh, it's a fantastic manifesto. I mean, come on. But then if we want to look at it critically, it's more like there's a comparison that as you can see on your screen, the image of the manifesto. But then again, aside from just looking at it, you can see that there were a lot of things not put in place. Like it was more like copied from somewhere. Okay, I didn't want to say that word copy, but then it was more like it was gotten from somewhere. You pitch from this person, you pick from this person. And of course, there's also a image of Nuhu Ribadu's manifesto, and of course it looks almost the same, kind of. It's possible. And also, now some person might want to argue that, oh, possible, anybody can use the word possible. But then, come on, the same format, the same way it's written. It just means that it was gotten from somewhere. It took someone's idea. So like some people have argued that what happened, what the Labour Party did was they picked from here, they picked from here, they picked from here, went on Google, got statistics, pasted, Anyway, Adamu Garba, even though I'm not a fan of that man, but he took his time, to say in his words, review, the manifesto of the Labour Party that was released over the weekend. So let's get to hear what he has to say.
I just rounded up going through Peter Obi's consumption, production to consumption manifesto. In fact, you don't have to read it all through. It's just like 46 pages because the remaining thing are just introduction from the top and biography from the down. My own summary of this is objectively, that it is summarily put together without any coherence, without consistency, without a flow. When you go through the entire manifesto from the introduction, it's like it's full of hate. It's like someone who is coming to fight people that he's angry. Somebody who doesn't believe in Nigeria as it is today. And that he's just coming to wrap everything together and put it in the corner and then build a new one as if there's nothing. Like that he sees Nigeria as a classroom where he's a monitor, he has a stick, and that he's coming to just hit everyone to just obey. Everybody should align. There is no judiciary, there is no legislation, there is nothing. Everything is just the office of the president. The state governors don't exist, the local government don't exist. He will just create policies and everybody must just comply. There is nothing about foreign policy there. I'm talking about some Africa-centered policy, and then you're now seeing security again coming in. And when you look at the security policy, the welfare of the police, something that we have achieved and passed through this thing far, far, far higher. Something that I think APC government achieved in the first term of office of President Muhammadu Buhari is what he's proposing to offer as a security policy. When you look at the infrastructure policy, his wishes are actually what is implemented by the government of President Muhammadu Buhari. Almost every single thing he said about transportation integration system and trying to link up pipelines and road and rail and air transportation system is exactly what this government is doing. And again, when you go back again to look at what is his macroeconomic policies, they don't even exist.
All right. Okay, so that was just the first part, of his review. Although we have several parts, it's quite long, but we can't give you all of that, okay? But that was just a brief review of the manifesto. Now, I think personally that it was just, they had enough time to think and put whatever it is they want to put out to Nigerians. But that wasn't just, there was nothing unique about it, if you ask me. I think there was nothing unique about it. Yeah, they tried to put one or two things, but it was just a basic manifesto that didn't have to, we didn't need so much suspense, for that to be out. There was nothing so unique about it, except the fact that it's just the basic things which every normal person should have in containing their manifesto. And of course, you should have put in more effort in getting statistics than just going to pick figures from here, I'm dumping it. Well, but the same. Well, let's see how it goes for them. But then, have you seen the manifesto of His Excellency? Well, the difference is there. Still talking about the Labour Party. It's so sad, but then something just came out this morning and it caught my attention, and I felt like it's very, very good that we talk about it. Now, there's a video that you're seeing on your screen right now, which is a video of Dr. Abayomi Arabambi. He's National Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party, talking about the party being involved in forgery. It's really going to be an interesting week. Let's get to listen to what he has to say. We are listening. All right. So for a political party like Labour Party, I feel that Labour Party is not even ready for this kind of heat, you know, because yeah, there are some persons who might want to come out to justify certain things, you know, when things like this come out. But then there's if you want to look at this thing very critically, every single thing that he has said, I think it's not left for the party to be able to probably explain to Nigerians if these things are, if that's mere allegations or they. So it's going to be a very heated week for them. We just hope that it doesn't get swept up. But I know I trust social media. They are going to talk about this thing till it gets to the end. And trust me, I'm going to be there to always, to bring the story for you. So if the story gets to Wednesday, I'll definitely be sharing it with you and we'll get to know what, I just hope that it is not swept under the carpet. I just hope that this man is not bullied to silence. I just hope that, they don't go to do backdoor movements. But then this is the time where we get to know how committed and how disciplined and how sanctimonious that Obi has, always portrayed himself to be. This is a time for us. Let the party come and tell us, they owe us an explanation, Abi. They owe us an explanation. But these little things, you don't get to see with Atiku, you don't have, people have said a lot of crazy, funny stuff, but nobody has ever gotten any proof to say this is it. That's because these are mere allegations. Unlike what is happening in the Labour Party, these are not just mere allegations. These are things that are out there for people to confirm. So these are the difference. So I think if you want to say, okay, I want to support a particular candidate, you have to go for a candidate that that you don't have debt to rub on him. You don't have any proof of any debt you want to rub on him, because he tries as much as possible to be as honest as possible. And I will definitely always tell you that in everything you do, you have to vote wisely. It's very, very important you vote wisely. Look at the policies, of His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. See his plans, see his vision, see his mission, see all the things that he wants to do for Nigeria, see what he wants to do for his people, for the people of Nigeria, and then make your decision. It's our desire that when he comes in, so many things will be corrected. And of course, we'll still be following the social conversation, the social space, to see what is happening. And of course, we know that it's a tough one on social media, very, very tough one. But at the end of the day, we move, right? So I'll be coming on Wednesday, and of course also on Friday with my guests. But on Wednesday, I'll be here to keep you abreast of some of the conversations that have trended on all social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok videos, and of course YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, AtikuLive. Tell someone to tell another person that this is where you get all the most interesting and juicy conversation when it comes to the PDP and others. They are the others. My name is Cynthia. Do have yourself a wonderful day. I love you, love you, love you, love you.